Line's good.
Never on.
Whoa.
Hard. Hardly.
Come on, Brent. Line's good. Got real close. The hair high, right? Try and hit 2/3.
Have they saved it for her? Yes, they have.
Welcome to Game of Stones, everybody. I am Sean Graham, Scott alongside, as always. Hello, Scott.
Hello, Sean. It's been a minute since we've spoken.
Sure has.
Things are good here.
It's good.
How are you?
I'm doing well. A little peek behind the curtain here. We have not, forget about recording. We haven't spoken to each other for, I think, over a month here.
Yeah.
Not. I mean, when I say it like that, it makes it sound like there's some animus.
Like bad blood.
Yeah. But no, just sort of the circumstances of the spring here. You were away for a while, then I was away for a while, and you were away during that time that I was away. And now we are both back in the nation's capital for the first time in the month of May, because I left on April the 28th or 9th, whatever day it was.
That's
and,
right.
Just got back this week. And as I said, in the interim, you were in and out of the city a couple times. So what's been going on, Scott?
So, Sean, I curled after you left in the year-end Bonspiel. And I don't know if we talked about that, but you played lead, right?
Yep.
And the team had a good couple games, went 2-0.
Correct.
I said, you know what? I'm going to slide into this team. I'm not going to rock the boat. I'm just going to throw lead. I haven't swept all year, but it's fine. I'm strong. You know, I go to the gym. That's what that training. It's why we lift all those weights, is to be able to do whatever. And the team promptly lost both games in one night and were eliminated. So I looked at it and said, well, the only thing that's different is me. I guess it's my fault. But like, how much really could it be my fault if I was just the lead? But it just, it was fun to play with the guys. And the first game was pretty close. Probably should have pulled that one out.
Right.
A couple of big misses near the end. And then the last game, I think everybody was just done.
Yeah.
Because the winning prize was to return Friday at 3 p.m. For a game after playing 2 on Wednesday night. And frankly, that just wasn't going to work for me. So, I tried my best, but was not to be.
Yeah. And I think too, as we sit here, it's we're recording this on Monday, May the 26th. To be quite honest, Scott, that first game on the Wednesday afternoon, which was April the 30th, was our buddy Dean was skipping and playing against Eddie Chow. I'm frankly surprised the game is over.
You're not wrong, Sean. So I had something to do between games and I was like, oh my God, this game is taking it was pretty quick through 6 ends. The last couple really slowed to a crawl. We finished at 7:15. I hopped in an Uber, got where I was going by 7:30, did what I had to do, then got back in. Then we got to my house and I got my car, zoomed back to the club, and I got there at 5 to 9. So, the other guys, they were sitting there having a beer or two, having some food.
Sure.
I was busy running around. I didn't eat anything.
Yeah.
I had a protein bar.
There you go.
And, they're all like, oh, Scott, I'm real stiff. Like those first couple slides. I was not me, man. I'm ready to go. I think I hogged the first 2 because the ice had slowed down so much.
Yeah.
But, that's the problem with playing lead, not playing lead very often, is I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Yeah. So the season ended with that, but somebody on the team did win, not the 50-50, but through the 50-50 draw, a broom, which may come to me. I don't know. Wow. I do need a broom. I will note just publicly. I'll publicly shame everybody here. I did pay the entry fee, and nobody has even offered to pay their portion of it as we sit here a month later. But hey, that's okay. It is what it is, you know?
I kind of forgot about it. How much do I owe you?
Well, it depends on how much interest I want to charge here.
I got a sticky note. I'll write it down.
All right. So you might wonder why we're doing such a long intro here. It's because, to be quite frank, we don't really want to talk about the last movie here in Movie May. And we did do Movie May because we were away and we couldn't do things that were timely and in the moment, responding to any news that came out over the course of the month of May. We'll do a recap of everything that's gone on in the world of curling at some point over the next month. But we did do Movie May. That's the origin of the idea and why we did it. But I had a lot of fun anyway. And I got to say, I don't know what next year is going to bring in terms of our schedule, Scott. I would not object to doing this again.
Yeah, no, Movie May is definitely fun. And so you sent me 2 movies. Yes. And for this one, I just picked the first. I was like, whatever.
Yep.
And then I only saw today that you had sent me the second movie because I had clicked the first one and then our conversation was just about that.
Yep.
I kind of wish I had picked the second one.
Yeah.
And so it makes me excited to do Movie May again because that one looks pretty good. But this one, Sean, is maybe the worst movie I've ever seen, but let's not, bury the lead and let's say what it is.
Yeah. So the movie that we are reviewing this week, it's called Gerri Curls. This is a film that was released in 2021 that follows the story of Gordon, who is the son, Gordon Gadbury, who is the son of a curling legend down in South Florida. And he is trying to inherit his family's curling fortune, but has to make it to the regionals of the Olympic qualifier in order to do so. And he has to overcome obstacles put in front of him by his evil half-sister and her lawyer. And we follow the story of the great Gadbury team, Scott, as they make their quest to the regional Olympic qualifier in South Florida.
Yeah, so there's a lot there. Where do you want to start, Sean?
All right. Well, yeah, let's sort of go through it. I have some notes here and I have some sort of questions that I have about the movie. So let's go. We'll go through it. Not quite a full scene by scene, but we'll do a bit of a synopsis here. And I'll just say this is very much. I said last week in the episode that was released last week in the intro, I said that I would tell everybody what we were going to watch, and I did do that as we record this, I will, as this is released, I did do that on Tuesday. But I'm going to put an addendum there and say this is very much we watched it so you don't have to.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Don't put yourself through this.
No, it's an hour and 14 minutes long. So not a huge time commitment, but it felt a lot longer.
It felt really long. Yeah.
All right. So Scott, we open up where Gordon is watching a video eulogy from his father, who says that he has to prove that he is a Gadbury. Otherwise, his half-sister would get all of the money. They are the curling elites in South Florida. And then the father is having sex on tape with what we can only assume to be a prostitute, and Gordon throws up.
No, Sean, it was the maid, and that's the mother of his half-sister.
Oh, okay. How do you know that?
I half paid attention to this movie.
Okay. All right. So he sees his half sister's like when she's conceived.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that is the intro to the movie. That sets up the premise here that he has to get to the qualifier, the regional qualifier of the Olympics. All right. Then we meet the rest of our team, or we start to meet the rest of our team. The first is Geraldine Redding. She is introduced by training some football players at elite football training. It's just 2 random guys who we never see ever again. And Scott, we learn that Geraldine is the first woman to ever be drafted by the National Football League. But before she ever got to play a game, her career was sidetracked because of drugs and strippers.
Yep. That old cliche, of drugs and strippers ruining a promising professional career.
Yes. So we are introduced to Geraldine, and we learn that she is having money problems. Her house is being foreclosed on, and she is going to need some money. So that sets up the impetus for her to join the curling team. And we cut back to Gordon, and he's drowning a sex doll who he is personifying as his half sister. And I'll tell you, Scott, that's the hero of the movie.
Yeah. No one is redeemable in this movie. This guy is terrible. I looked up the actor. This is his only film credit on IMDb. I kind of understand why.
So the half sister shows up while this is going on and says that he says that he is too busy to be part of the family business, which is curling. And then the lawyer shows up to sign all the papers. And what we learn is that the inheritance is $125.8 million. And he has 1 month to get to these regional Olympic curling trials. And Scott, we are led to believe that the family fortune is the product of curling, and they live in Miami. Now, on a scale of 1 to 2, what is like? How did is
It can't be, right?
Is this money laundering? Is this some sort of a crime family that is claiming that they got rich through curling?
I don't know, because maybe they're like real estate people. We're going to learn about a real estate like transaction later, but like it really makes zero sense. I feel like the movie was set in South Florida because that's where the director lived, and that's where it was like all these actors lived. Yeah. And so it was easy to make it set there.
Right.
But strains credulity.
Yeah, very, very strange in this one. And then Gordon gets set to make up his curling team. And the lawyer says to him, hey, I know a lot of unemployed curlers that I can set you up with. And Scott, I took note of this because he says, like, multiple. I know a couple unemployed curlers in the area. He introduces Gordon to one and only one unemployed curler in the area. And do we ever learn this guy's name?
I don't think so. So I was looking even on IMDb to see if he's credited.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think so.
No.
So he's self-proclaimed as the king of black curling.
Yes. Black world champion, I believe.
Black world champion of curling.
Yes.
Have you heard of such an event?
No, I'm unaware of it. So I don't know where that comes from and how he like. And again,
Sean, we're not the demo for that event, so maybe we just don't know about it.
Maybe, but again, and it's hard to tell if he's joking or if he's actually into curling, and like,
yeah, very strange.
Very strange. So they negotiate. So Gordon meets this guy and they're negotiating, and Gordon says, well, I can pay you after. If we win, I'll give you $1 million out of the $125 million. That's not a bad deal. And then the other guy says, no, I'm not going to work on spec. He says, I need a minimum of $1,500 to do this. And then Gordon counters with $1,000 a week, which over the course of a month, Scott, I'm not a mathematician, but that's more than $1,500. He negotiated himself into a worse position.
Up. Yeah. Well, he is supposed to be a dummy, I think. And he is quite dumb.
Yes.
This is one of those examples of why he's quite so dumb.
So they make this deal, and in the process, the new player, the world champion, sees Gerri on TV. She's being arrested, and says, "Hey, like, oh, you don't know who she is?" And Gordon says, "No, we didn't watch the sports of commoners in our house," which.
That's just saying that curling is the sport of the elite, Sean.
Yes. I got to say, Scott, that's the only time I mildly chuckled during this comedy film. I think it's the best line in the movie.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So then Gordon goes and bails her out and asks her if she's ever thought about playing curling. It's the sport of gods. And eventually she agrees. And then, of course, they need a fourth player. So the son goes to what we are led to believe is a porn website and finds a woman in a maid outfit who is sweeping and decides to hire her.
Yes, because she's a good sweeper.
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't know if he ever really understands that it's like an adult website.
Right.
He just thinks that she's in servitude and all she can do is sweep, and he's liberating her.
Yes, because at one point he says to her, "I think your sweeping website might be fraudulent."
Yeah. So big dummy, I think.
Yeah, big old dummy there. So that's our team now. So we got Gordon, who's trying to inherit all this money. We got only woman to be drafted to the NFL, Gerri. We have the Black World Champion, and then we have the woman who is on an OnlyFans type website, and her name is Nina. Yes. So that's our team here. And they're going to try to make it to the Olympic trials qualifier. Now, one detail, Scott, that is not addressed in this, there is no mixed discipline in the Olympic Games for that's not the wheelchair is. So in the Paralympics, but these are not wheelchair curlers.
Sean, this is a world in which a woman was drafted into the NFL.
Correct.
Gender lines. We're living in a gender-free society. Anything goes. This is all curling is anybody, all welcome.
It's just all four people. Okay. So
well, maybe not even. We'll get to that.
Yes. So then we go and we have Gerri talks to her father, who is trying to be a country singer. He says he'll always help her out, but has no money. All right, that's fine. And then they start to practice. And Gordon has them practicing on a wood curling sheet. And he says that my father always told me if you can practice on wood, ice is a breeze. Scott, that I feel like they're trying to do the line from Dodgeball, where it's if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. They're just doing it in a much, 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 much worse way.
Yeah, I mean, anybody can walk on wood, right?
Yeah.
Easy. But ice is a whole different story. So yeah, a huge flaw in their training program. I have a feeling this team is not going to make it to the qualifiers for the Olympics, regional qualifiers.
Yes,
but we'll see.
Yeah. And then, so they practice. The son can't throw for some reason. They're trying to decide who's going to be the thrower on the team. So either they didn't bother Googling what curling is, or curling is supposed to be a joke in the movie.
Like, yeah. So I don't know, because they call it the sport of gods and stuff.
Yeah.
But Sean, this is the most egregious part, right? Of the film is that they didn't bother to look up curling at all.
Yeah.
And if it's supposed to be a joke, I don't think it's a funny joke. Like,
yeah. Because if you don't know anything about curling, you're just going to think that that's the way it works. Like, okay.
Well, I think they had the name for the movie, Gerri Curls.
Yeah.
You know, playing on Gerri Curl.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, like that's what they did, and they were like, okay, let's make up this movie.
Yeah. And so they practice. They eventually decide that Gerri is going to be the thrower. We see Gerri on the football field. It's got there's this one in this moment where she's like conflicted of if she's going to do this. I really thought it was just because they had a drone for the day and they wanted to use the shot.
Yeah,
Like
there
it's a
was a
very
few
nice
of those
drone
shots.
shot. Yeah,
a few drone shots. Starting the movie, ending the movie. But yeah, I noticed them.
yeah. Then we get a training montage of them sweeping, and they're all looking straight into the camera.
It is the worst montage I've ever seen.
Yeah, just dead straight to the camera. We do see a throw from this world champion. He cannot throw. He did not even bother watching a YouTube video of how to throw a curling stone.
Yeah.
And then we learn that he actually got a 3-year suspension after the world championship for selling trades to the Canadians.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Nobody knows.
Like selling trades?
I don't know, man. Was he like taking money for throwing games? Not if he was the black world champion.
Yeah. It's very strange.
Yeah, I didn't understand it at all. Like you could have said he was caught smuggling maple syrup or something.
Yeah, you could have come up with a joke in this comedy movie.
Literally any joke.
Yeah. So we have that, and then we learn that Gerri can't use family funds as part of his process to try to qualify for the Olympics. This goes absolutely nowhere, but they needed to fill time, I guess.
Yeah, Mike can't. Or Gordon. Gordon
can't. Yeah. And then we see a scene where the half sister, and her lawyer are visiting someone who we learn to be the commissioner of what we don't know, but the commissioner. And they're planning on building the premier curling facility in South Florida. So the world's best curling facility will be in South Florida, and they're going to make $100 million donation because if Gordon can't make it to the regional qualifier, all the money goes to the half sister. It's got, again, the half sister wants to donate money to build the world's premier curling facility.
Yeah.
And that in this movie, that makes her the villain.
Yeah. Because we know that what Gordon wants to do, as we see multiple times throughout this movie, is that he just eats. He's a fat guy who eats all the time.
Yeah.
And it's, I guess, a joke, right? That like, oh, he's a fat guy. He needs to eat. He's always got food. He's like stuffing his face. There's a scene later where he's like funneling food into a funnel. And then,
yes,
just random.
Yeah. Very, very strange. All right. Then we get a scene where Gordon gives Gerri an instructional video on how to curl. And the instructional video goes, you have a stone, you have a bullseye, now you can go curling.
Yeah, they don't even say that word house the entire movie.
No, bullseye.
Yeah. You always want to put it on the bullseye.
Yep.
Oh, Sean, let's go back to the commissioner.
Yes.
So when they met him, I assumed he was standing up on something.
Right.
But throughout the movie, he appears to be like 7'6" tall.
Yeah, they just made him taller than everybody else.
But it's only his legs. His torso is like sort of looks like he's average height. Yes. And his legs have just been, and this guy who plays the commissioner got the most credits on IMDb. I see 33 as an actor.
Wow.
And he was on The Walking Dead, and I don't understand if he's actually tall or like what it added to his character to make him like his waist is basically at the start of everyone's neck.
Yes.
So either he's actually that tall, which I doubt, or it's just a strange choice.
Very strange choice.
One of many.
Yes. All right. Then we got a scene where they are done with practice, and we see in this really stood out to me as, again, just another weird one. Gordon and Gerri are standing together outside, and the maid, or the woman who's the sweeper, who they hired, is coming over, and she says, "See you tomorrow." Then Gordon asked Gerri if she has time to chat. Scott, what were they doing while they were standing there? They're the only two standing there. I don't, that bugged me. At this point, I was already frustrated with the movie. And like, what are they doing? Yeah. What do you mean? Like, you're just standing there in total silence and you need the other person to come over and say, see you tomorrow. And then you say, oh, do you have time? Like, you just had time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very annoying. So then they have this discussion. Gordon gives Gerri money to keep her focused and off the street. I have no idea where he's getting this money because he's not supposed to be using family money. That's never explained. And then Gerri goes right to the strip club and gets into a fight with the bouncer. Is
this where, Sean, Gordon gives her money, gives her cash?
Cash, straight cash, homie.
Yeah, and so then she just goes to the strip club with the cash and is wiling out.
Yeah. But then, so she's there, she's watching a dancer on the stage, and another dancer comes over and starts to pester her. And basically says, tip me, I'm going to dance, do you want to do this? This woman is so mean for no reason. Like, she just comes over super aggressive.
So Gerri's energy the entire movie is so aggressive and angry. And it seems like there's not much reason for it other than she's frustrated with the way her lot in life has gone since her fall from being an NFL draft pick.
Yeah.
But it's like all the time. Everybody she talks to, she's like, F you. I don't even like, I'm going to break you. All sorts of like weird stuff. So anyway, this is taking too long. Let's move faster through this movie.
All right. So then Gerri gets into a fight and is arrested. Gordon bails her out of jail again. Then we go through. There's a fight between the Black World Champion and Gordon for no real reason. They break it up. Gerri breaks it up, and then she fights with the Black World Champion, and then eventually everyone fights. He decides to leave the team. Then they're going to play their first game, Scott, and they're playing All Curl Review.
The All Curl Review
consists of 3 guys, and they're playing 3-on-3 in a gym on a wood surface.
Yeah, so I guess if you can play on wood, you can qualify for the Olympic regional qualifiers.
Yes. So they're playing this game. At one point, Gordon says that the strategy at one point should be, he says, quote, go soft and split their stones and try to take the top one out of play. You can't go soft and split their stones and take the top one out of play.
No, you definitely can't, especially not on wood.
No. So then we see a montage of the game. Scott, people are in the crowd are happy and sad at various points, but we don't see any of the shots.
Well, no, because you can't show a shot on wood because it doesn't actually work.
No.
So, it's a big montage of the game. Then they're down to the last shot.
Yep. And they lose.
Oh, sorry, you lose.
Yeah.
Oh, no, dream crushed. Wait a minute.
No.
There's another chance to get qualified for the regional Olympic trials. They don't say trials, qualifiers.
Yes. Yeah, so they have to play SoFlo Curls in the next game, and they have 2 weeks. These are 3 people from Minnesota who have not lost since they moved to South Florida, and that's
20 years ago.
Yeah, undefeated.
They haven't lost the game in 20 years. They're Rachel Homan for 20 years.
Yeah. Now, Scott, that actually I would believe that if people from Minnesota move to Florida, they might go undefeated for 20 years.
You know what? You're right. This is one thing they got right.
Yeah. And then we have a bunch of scenes between Gerri and her father that don't really go anywhere at all. But we learn that Gerri's father has impregnated somebody and Gerri is dating one of the dancers from the club. This is all just doesn't matter. Then Gordon, Scott, you mentioned the funnel. He eats himself into a coma.
Yeah, that's right. He eats himself into a coma, and Gerri gets into a coma somehow too.
Yes.
But I don't know how.
I think it's from the sister or the half sister, somebody hits her.
Oh
With
yeah, because the half sister is like, oh no, they've got another chance. I need to take them out because they're too much of a threat to
Yeah.
maybe beat this undefeated curling team. They've never curled in their life except this last game, but I got to take them out to make sure that they can't win,
Yes.
knowing that they definitely won't win. I don't understand why she risked criminal charges.
Yes, it makes absolutely no sense. And then the night before the game, she takes her dad's curling broom and hits Gordon in the face with it. Scott, why are they staying? They hate each other. Why are they in the same house together?
It's a great question. I think that this was the morning of the curling game. He came out of the coma, and then she whacked him with the broom and locks him up again, locks him to the bed so that, oh no, he's not going to make it for the game.
Right.
So they're all sitting at the curling rink being like, we can't wait any longer for this guy. And, the two of them are there. Gerri has made somehow a miraculous recovery from her coma, and she was in a wheelchair because she couldn't move her legs.
Yep.
One of the strippers from the club was tending to her. Like you said, they're dating now somehow. It seems like Gerri doesn't even want to date her,
right?
But it's happening. And then they say, okay, hey dad, or hey somebody, can you go check on what's his name? Gordon. Can you go check on Gordon? Yeah, because nobody thought of this when he was 15 minutes late. So he goes, checks on him. Oh no, like you're stuck in the bed with handcuffs. So
yeah.
It was the stripper went and used her lock picking skills, which somehow she learned from somewhere.
Yeah. And also there's a plate of bacon on his chest for some reason.
It was like, hey, you're going to wake up to the smell of bacon, but not be able to get at it.
Yeah.
Fatty.
You're fat. Yeah. Just absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, they get him to the match. We also learned that the SoFlo curling people are absolute jerks for no reason. There's a news interview with them before the game where they just call out these people who are on Gordon's team for no reason and are just mean the entire time with absolutely no motivation put behind it.
Yeah, no motivation. It's like the opposite of curling. This whole movie is like the opposite of curling.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're mean, and then so now everybody's there at the gym where the wood is.
Yeah.
So now we can get our curling match underway.
Yes. So Gordon's strategy is to, quote, block them at the top of the bullseye and we might have a chance. They do not have a chance. The score is 10-0 for SoFlo curling at what the commissioner calls, quote, halftime.
Yes, the halftime buzzer rings and the score is 10-0.
Yeah. And here's the thing too, you see them throw sometimes. It feels like the way that they think curling works is that you throw the rock and you get a point based on where it lands in the rings, and then you clear it off.
Yeah.
And keep going on. So there's that. The other thing too is Gordon gets mad at the maid woman.
Yeah.
By saying your sweep spin is doing nothing. This guy can't keep up with the rock. Who is this guy who's supposed to be the great curling dynasty, knows everything, and can't walk the 4 feet to keep up with the rock
on wood? Yeah, this guy sucks. I hate Gordon.
Yeah, I don't want him to win.
No, I'm starting to think, oh good, he's going to lose because he's a bad person.
Yeah, and then we'll get this great curling facility.
But then, Sean, it's halftime, and you know what everybody does at halftime?
Gotta poop.
You go to the locker room to poop and look at your phone.
Yes. So a member of the SoFlo curling team is on the toilet, and somebody who, spoiler, we do not learn who it is, comes and murders him while he's on the toilet.
Murder, straight up murder, a shooting, Sean.
Murders him.
I was shocked.
Yeah. Pulls out a gun, murders the guy. And so another member of his team goes back to take a poop
because it's what you do at halftime of the curling game.
and goes in and sees that his teammate is murdered and comes out of the locker room and basically says, "Hey, our teammate."
Our teammate is murdered. What are we going to do? And the commissioner, Sean, the commissioner who's responsible for making sure that this regional qualifier game goes through, says, well, now you've only got 2 players.
You can't play anymore.
You can't play anymore because everybody knows that curling needs 3 players.
He also says that curling waits for no one.
Curling waits for no one. That's right. It doesn't matter that someone was just murdered in the
back. Like, here's the thing, and I just want to be clear. I'm not laughing because I think this movie is funny. I'm laughing because this is the stupidest thing that has ever been put to film, I hope. Like, the teammate just saw his buddy get murdered. His reaction isn't, maybe we should get out of here, or maybe this is a dangerous situation. His reaction is, what's going to happen in the game? And then nobody in the building is like, maybe we should call the police because that guy just got murdered.
Just a shocking turn of events. A shocking turn of events.
Yeah. So because curling waits for nobody, SoFlo curling is disqualified.
Yeah, that's right.
The Great Gadbury team wins the game and qualifies for the regionals of the Olympic trials. And as everybody would do, as like within 3 minutes of somebody being murdered, they start dancing and cheering around. And Scott, still nobody has called the police.
No, they're excited. They're dancing.
But why? Okay. If you just, if I'm trying to put some logic to this, if you just won a game that guaranteed you $125 million based off of somebody getting shot, would you not think, well, maybe, just maybe, whoever killed that guy, because we're led to believe Gordon doesn't know who it is, might want to now kill me and is probably still here because we haven't called the police about the murder.
For $125 million. Yeah. Yeah. And then, Sean.
Yes.
The lawyer is very eager to approach Gordon and say, congratulations. Since you've qualified, here is an envelope, which I don't think has $125 million in it. But it's like, here are the legal documents entitling you to this money. Like he was just carrying them around that day.
Sure.
Thinking that maybe they'd win. They're losing 10-0 at halftime.
Yeah. So then we see that there's a second video from Gordon's father. And he says that if anything nefarious happened, there is a signed pardon from Ronald Reagan, his buddy Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
And that he is to get his half-sister off the premises. And apparently this is all a big blackmail, which is why she was involved. And I don't know why he made his kid go through this, because he says, no matter what, you're going to get the money. And so they go through, Gerri punches the sister, and they all gloat as she is laying presumably dead on the ground, or at least unconscious.
Definitely unconscious. And we got another sweet drone shot from above of her sort of splayed on the sidewalk.
Yeah, all we need is the chalk outline around her. And then it cuts back to the world champion. He's in a neck brace after the fight with Gerri. And he says that he will have his revenge. And that clearly is to set up the sequel, Gerri Curls 2, World Champion Revenge.
Yeah, this can never see the light of day. I think so. Like, there's a few other things that happen, but it's not relevant to the plot. It seems like time fillers.
Yeah.
Sean, so like you said, we find out that the dad was never going to give the money to his half sister anyway.
Yeah.
So what the hell? What the
Why?
hell are we doing here?
Yeah,
He was
why?
like, either you get good at curling and get that money, or I've hired somebody secretly to murder someone such that it will ensure that you get the money. He doesn't take into account that this team might have a fourth player.
Right.
Right.
No.
They might come prepared in case of injury. This is the plan when all you had to do was just will the money to your son like any normal person would expect you do.
Yeah.
Because he didn't get good at curling.
No.
He didn't learn any lessons. Nobody is better off for have all these events having happened. Least of all, the guy who's dead on the toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And roll credits. That's your movie.
Roll credits and another drone shot of the Miami. They made it seem like, okay, these are really highfalutin people. I got to tell you, the driveway looked pretty banged up, like the streets, a lot of potholes. I don't think this was in a fancy part of Miami where they filmed it.
They are not in South Beach. No.
Definitely not. Definitely not. So,
yeah. So that is Gerri Curls. That is our summary of the movie. It is something that we would not recommend. Scott, on IMDb, though, it has a 6.8 out of 10.
Yeah. So I looked at this, Sean, because I was like, there's no way. It's got 35 10 out of 10s.
Yeah.
25 1 out of 10s. And then like a few of everything in the middle.
Yeah.
I have to believe it's just the people who are related to those people that are in this movie that gave it 10.
Right. I would think so. And a lot of them are like from when it came out, the 10 on Sens. Like,
yeah.
So it's really hard to tell. I will say though that Megan Edwards is has a review on here from 2022. Gave it an 8 on 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Megan.
And disagree with that assessment, but says this movie is, among other things, this movie is a little off the wall. It doesn't have big names and maybe not everyone's cup of tea, but not nearly as dire, in my opinion, as the other reviews suggest. Yeah, but then you have other ones that say, was this satire made by elementary school aspiring to be B-movie directors? It's so bad it can't be real. Another one, longest hour, 14 minutes of your life. I've enjoyed waiting in line at the DMV or at a doctor's office more than this film.
This film will leave you speechless. Watch it. This film was certainly something. First off, I don't understand the plot. It was just a scheme by Gordon's father to keep the Gadbury curling legacy just so they could go to regionals. Then the best curling team has one of its members killed off and everyone cheered.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Scott, as I said, this is a 6.8 out of 10. You want to know some other movies that have a 6.8 on 10 on IMDb?
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right. So you got The Matrix Revolutions, Captain Marvel, Bruce Almighty, Fast and the Furious,
Captain Marvel is 6.8?
Yeah.
Really?
Captain Marvel from 2019, 6.8.
Wow.
You got I think I said Fast. Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
Oh, come on. Now you're just playing with me. Get out of here.
Bridesmaids, 6.8.
Bridesmaid is 6.8.
Yeah.
Come on, get out. This is all just the people that worked on the movie.
Yeah.
Nina B 22.
We got Hook from 1991, the Robin Williams one.
Rufio.
Warm Bodies from 2013. Actually, that one I could believe is actually a 6.8. So yeah, there's actually some pretty good movies that have a 6.8.
Yeah, this movie is not one of them.
Yeah. 50 First Dates, Men in Black 3, Bruce Almighty.
Huh.
Yeah. And Gerri Curls.
It's one of the greats, right? Said
Yeah.
no one. Don't
watch this.
Don't watch it. If you're thinking like, oh, maybe this could be, it's not funny.
No.
It's not good. You know what, Sean? Don't even put the link to it in the episode.
No, if you want to, you can find it. It is available for free. And even at that, you might be wasting your money on it.
Yeah. How much data did I use to watch it on my phone?
Yeah, that's a good, yeah. So there you have it. That is Gerri Curls. That will do it for Movie May here on the podcast. Hope you had fun with Movie May. Again, we watched Gerri Curls, so you don't have to, but we also did enjoy the other ones we watched over the course of the month. And in the process, there are some things that are very interesting. The other one that we had that Scott mentioned earlier for this month, I think we'll do it at some point. If not next year in another Movie May, at some point we will definitely do it because it's one that sounds very interesting to us. But hope you did enjoy Movie May. We had fun. We'll get back to the regular summer schedule starting next week. So if you want to get that and everything else we got going on the pod, please do subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, like, rate, comment, all the good stuff. Helps other people find the show, keeps us growing. Of course, head on over to GameOfStonesPod.com. Past episodes are there, plus a link to the merch. We're on the socials at Game of Stones Pod, except for Facebook, where it's Game of Stones Podcast. And if you want to let me know what you want to hear on the show, Game of Stones Podcast at gmail.com. So there you go, Scott. We're back in the saddle here after a few weeks off. How's your spring?
Pretty good, Sean. Pretty good. Lots going on. I'm going to be moving in a couple weeks. So
excited.
I'll try to not have that interfere with our recording schedule, but
see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, it's like it's all happening, right? It's
you're not moving that far. So did you think about just getting a wagon and walking all your stuff over?
I did think about getting a wagon, and I think we're gonna get one. I think we're gonna get a wagon.
Yeah, why not?
And just roll our stuff down the road.
Well, you got that period where you have the new place and you have the old place. It's not like you have to do it all in a day.
That's right.
But get your steps in.
But I did hire a moving company.
Yeah.
Because did you hire a moving company when you moved?
Nope. All sweat equity.
Wow.
That's what you get when you have a tiny apartment.
I guess that's true. You didn't have that much stuff.
No, and not that many stairs. I had 4 stairs to go down.
Yeah, just 4 stairs, not too bad.
No. So yeah, that wasn't too bad. But yeah, for you, where you're moving from, movers is probably a good investment.
Yeah, I think so. Other things happening this spring, Sean. I was out on the West Coast, West Coast, Best Coast. Big shout out to all my friends there. And I'll give a shout out. I doubt Marsha will have listened to this episode for this long, but if she does, thanks, Marsha. We stayed at her house, and she is repping the Game of Stones hoodie all around Vancouver. So
nice.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Good job, Marsha.
Yeah, she's always wearing it, talking to people. It's great.
Love it.
She's the demo that we're looking for.
Yep.
And I know that she spreads the word.
Awesome. Thank you, Marsha.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, yes, if you're listening 50 minutes in or nearly 50 minutes in to a discussion of the worst movie ever. So there you have it. Thanks to all of you, anyone who's still with us to get through that one. We really do appreciate it, and really do appreciate you sticking with us through Movie May. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. But as I said, we'll be back with the regular summer fare starting next week. But until we chat to you then, keep those brooms on the ice and don't dump that intern.
Make the final.